Good afternoon, everyone. Gas gets cut off. UK looking at 22% inflation next year. A quarter of all UK residents will not even turn on the heating once this year to save money for electric. German families putting aside some money for the electric bill this winter. Scotland cutting down 14 million trees to make way for wind turbines. With trees, without trees. I'll be talking about this at Alternative View 12. Coming up September 4th. Remember, it's UK time. Looks like frosted mini wheats is healthier than a boiled or poached egg. Locked out of your thermostat, smart meter. Tracking your CO2. Pay by the pound CO2 emitted for your production. Going cashless Starbucks. And who knows what this is in the skies over China. Electromagnetic signs of the times. Starting it with a question. Gas shortages, freezing temperatures, firewood hoarding across Europe. Just how bad could it get this winter? Dare I answer? Belgium looking at least 10,000 euros for power and heating. $1,000 a month electricity bill is difficult to swallow at best. They're talking about mass poverty across the EU because of spiking electricity prices on the electric futures market, everything in disarray. Russia cutting off all gas supplies to French energy Engie. Failure to pay for gas deliveries in July. That's going to be happening to a lot of people anyway. Now it's at the corporate level. UK inflation going to top 22% next year. But you know it's going to trend higher than that. Welcome to hyperinflation, food, energy. Adding to this, nearly a quarter of all UK adults will not turn on heating at all, not even once, over the entire winter to save on electricity costs. I mean, look at that bottom paragraph there. Average energy costs in Shetland are projected to rise to £10,000 per household by April. That's more than double the projection from the UK. So when you see memes floating around like this, German family putting aside some money for the electric bill this winter, that's for 1 month. That's where the electric prices are going. But I will be talking about this along with other speakers at Alternative View 12. This is in the UK. Remember, if you sign up, all-day event, it's UK time, September 4th, this weekend coming up. I'm going to delve deep into where we sit now and where we're going. Where we were, where we'll be heading in 2023. Now this one's a head scratcher here. Scotland's going to cut down 14 million trees to make way for wind turbines. But I thought the whole point of carbon sequestration was to replant trees. Go figure. So here's a nice comparison of with and without trees, the difference in temperatures. Would you survive a year-long power outage? It's more likely to happen than you might realize. Foreign countries' terrorist groups have been waiting for the opportune moment to attack U.S. soil. Unfortunately, our country has a major weakness, our power grid. An attack on this infrastructure would cripple the country and leave us without power for years. If you're beginning to prep and learning about this for the first time, you want to turn to Dark Age Protection. But keep in mind, no survival guide on Earth will prepare you for what's in store in the coming months the way that Dark Age Protection will. Expertly written survival book guides you through step-by-step actions that must be taken to ensure your survival. And each copy of Dark Age Protection comes with 4 bonus books for free: Bulletproof, Bug Out, Water on Demand, Produce Oasis, Gardening, and Off-Grid Independence. Get your downloadable copy now by going to darkageprotection.com or click on that link in the description box below. And now on with the video. And speaking of temperatures, 22,000 Colorado households are going to lose control of their thermostats. Oh wait, they already did. They were locked out. Thousands of XL customers learned they had no control over the temperatures in their homes. They were on part of what's called a Colorado AC or Air Conditioning Rewards program that allowed power provider to change temperatures to stabilize the grid. Now, I doubt many people are going to be part of this program after as the scalding heat wave rolling through and you couldn't even turn on your home's cooling. Directly from the smart meter itself, temperature locked temporarily during an energy emergency. Due to a rare energy emergency, which is becoming the common normal, your temperature slider or temperature dial, temperature gauge has been changed/locked from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. because you enrolled in a community energy savings program. Bye-bye program for probably 90% of the people. And looking at the natural environment of the world these days, imagine thinking the buffalo are worse than the sprayers, but then keeping on a little humor coming into the weekend. What a terrible polluting environment. See those cows over there? Those sheeps. That is so much better. Put up the windmills. Also, did you know a banana has been chemically ripened if it is brown spotted with a green stalk, left side? If the stalk is black and the banana is naturally ripening, right side. So when you go into the store, you'll be able to choose. Also, speaking of purchasing habits in a store, got the slide last month, I've been holding on to it. It's time to unveil it. This is coming out of Tufts in conjunction with the Friedman School of Nutritional Science and Policy. Green is good. Green 100% watermelon and kale, yummy, nutritious. That 87% frosted mini wheats, And at 76%, just a couple lines above where the yellow begins, Honey Nut Cheerios. And then as we slide down to the naughty list in the reds, 29, 28, 26, eggs, cheese, ground beef. Stay away from those. This is the new food pyramid. Along with new to purchase food going cashless from October 1st, 2022. Looks like Starbucks is only going to be accepting cards, contactless payments, rewards payments. But I do remember seeing on any of these fiat notes for all debts, public and private. I'm really curious how many lawsuits are going to stem from this, because you can't tell me that you're going to walk into an establishment and say, no, we can't use American money in America because we can only use our own systems for anything that you're going to purchase. Rewards cards and rewards points, that's something a little different versus the way you pay for it now is strictly contactless. You can't even use money. Is definitely going to see this with a lot of traction in the news moving forward as a precedent case. This will decide the future of digital money moving forward. Now, intertwined with the digital money, obviously, is going to be the carbon allocation credits for the personal side, not the corporate side. Personal carbon allocation credits. Bam, right here, Klarna, giving it to you, early messaging. And you'll see at the bottom where it says 68 pounds of CO2 emitted in the footprint of the manufacture of the t-shirts, the shipping of the t-shirts, the coloring, and I guess the electrical needs for you to even order this online. It's all been calculated. And to get these t-shirts here, all 6 of them, you'll have to come up with 68 pounds of carbon offset. And see, this is where it runs in tandem, moving into the digital system. So what we're seeing right now is a liquidation of all assets on the planet. We're coming into bankruptcy. Everything's going to be reset, resettled, and a restructuring, a parity will come. It will be a market force back to reconciliation on the paper market to anything commodity based. It's going to reconcile. Gold and silver is going to come out on top of this for sure. But in addition to starting with different pillars of the economy, they're going to be coming out with central bank digital currencies, universal basic income, and personal carbon credits. And that'll be part of the carbon trading market, which will also be a brand new pillar of the new economy. So in the future, after this market crash, 95% reduction in everything down to, biggest crash since the Roman Empire beginning in about 15 days. Right around September 16th, looks like it's about to onset. At that point, once it finishes its collapse period, people will be begging for anything. Okay, we got a digital system we can roll out pretty quickly. Great. So those t-shirts that you saw there, the price of each t-shirt was listed. In today's world, you pay for the t-shirt, you pay the tax, it's yours. In the new world, you're going to have these personal carbon allocation credits. So there it said 68 pounds of CO2 emitted. You'll have to have that personal credit in addition to the money that you're going to spend on it. The transaction won't facilitate or move through and won't be validated and approved until you also have the CO2 offset. Now, in the beginning, so I've been marched through a couple different scenarios here. First one, everything on the one credit will be 1 ton in the beginning. And as it moves forward, it's going to trickle down to some sort of size on the 100 kilograms, the 100 pounds, or the 500 pound increment. Somewhere in that 100 pound increment compared to the 2,000 pound increment. And again, there's a gray area. Is it an English ton? Is it a metric ton? Still, there's a few things to be worked out with this. But number one key takeaway, if you don't have the 68 pounds of carbon like allocation, you've already spent it on everything else, and you have 0 carbon credits, you won't be able to make the purchase. Now, you're going to have to go out on the open market and buy that amount of carbon available to then complete your purchase with the money used at the same time. This is coming in, and I can't believe Starbucks going to contactless payment, and we're going to see something, this hybrid, and it's being ushered in right now. So you know that we're at the very cusp of the beginning of the unwind. Because as was explained to me, the nickel market that sent everything into shambles, the London Metals Exchange still has not recovered from that. That is very, 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 very small in comparison to futures electricity pricing for all homes, all businesses, all factories, and all electrical needs across Europe. Nickel is minute in comparison to all the electrical needs of Europe. That is going to do a hyperinflationary runaway scenario where companies trading in that are now asked by their banks to cover. We're talking billions of extra dollars. Deposit now, the risk is too high. This is the beginning of the unwind right here. The futures electrical market in Europe is the runaway catalyst as it looks right this second. So keep your eyes on that. Futures pricing for electrical inputs, and the more gas that gets cut off across different countries, the higher that electrical price is going to go. And they're definitely in hyperinflation. You can't tell me that something is increasing 18x since last year and they're not into a hyperinflationary scenario. That's 1,800% above. Hyperinflation's at 50%, 60%, not 1,800%. They're way into hyperinflation. They're just not talking about it. They're using different descriptive adjectives to describe it. And if we look currently, you can see which countries are rolling out with this personal carbon allocation credit along with corporate carbon allocation credits. The schemes and the programs for you to pledge your forest land as a locked pledge for 20 years to then determine the sequestered amount of CO2 to then put back onto the market. Anywhere on this map here that has colored countries behind it is live at the moment. This map was back in 2016 and 17, but you can see there's been great advances since that time. Game on. And it's happening in conjunction with signs in the skies, electromagnetic field changing, plasma displays, holding state for such a long time, petroglyphs coming back to life. This is a canyon wall petroglyph that you would see from the ancients warning us. Do you get that sixth sense that things are in imminent collapse phase, imminent change? A couple more weeks, September. From all the research and all the sources I have, it looks like September, it begins for sure. Something around the 16th seems to be between the 16th and 24th. 16th is the delivery date. The rail goes on strike here in America. The Chicago Board of Trade executes on their physical delivery for those who are standing for physical delivery on contracts. And all these other blowout events with the electrical pricing, turn off of gas, just energy disruptions, crop losses, and it seems like it's all hitting now. How many events have we seen from signs from the skies and also crustal disruptions? If anybody's been following in Saudi Arabia where the earth just ripped open and geysers started shooting out, creating new streams in what will be rivers in the middle of Saudi Arabian desert, fascinating. This all adds into, can't be hidden any longer. So time for you to prepare. Use this weekend wisely. Go out and get some storable foods, some seeds, some things to help you grow food and then start experimenting growing immediately. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. All the links are in the description box, especially for Alternative View 12, so you can join here on the weekend where I'll be a speaker. And until next time, bye for now.